Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be sharing why I personally prefer game development over web development as a career. For web dev, I'm going to specifically be speaking of the front end aspect of it. And also, take what I say with a little grain of salt. I have never worked a front end job before, nor ever worked for a game studio or released a game independently. I'm just going to be talking about my experience learning the two different skills from an amateur's perspective. With front-end web development, whether you hear about it from online or by a friend, you're going to come across HTML and CSS. These are the two basic languages that are the foundation of modern websites today and are practically a must-learn for entering into the field. They influence the structure and style of a website. I did indeed learn them very well, and I consider myself pretty good with the two languages. However, they can be a bit cumbersome to work in due to their typing format. For website functionality, you'll then need to learn JavaScript. This is a language that has much more complexity than HTML and CSS, but is required for front end as well. It allows the user to interact with the website by, for example, coding the ability for them to store their logging information that they type in. I myself am decent with JavaScript. However, this is where, in my opinion, I start to have a distaste towards web development. Even after all that learning, it still wouldn't be quite enough to land an entry-level job at a company. Those languages on their own aren't efficient enough when it comes to modern-day large projects that companies work on. Firstly, you'll need to get acquainted with a package manager like Node Package Manager to download different modules, or in other words, code files, to enhance your JavaScript coding, like the async package, for example. Then you'll also need what is called a module bundler to be able to separate your JavaScript code into multiple files to then combine them all together into one file. You also will definitely need some type of preprocessor or framework for CSS to make coding in CSS much less cumbersome and more capable. They basically change how you write and use CSS and even HTML in some cases, since HTML and CSS are so tied together in development. On top of all this, you will most certainly need to learn a JavaScript framework like React or Angular. It also would change how you would write JavaScript, since they add pre-made JavaScript code to your workflow to utilize. You'll likely even need more technologies than these, such as MongoDB, Express.js, TypeScript, etc., to land a good paying job. Coding is an extremely challenging skill to master, and all these extra technologies I would need to get acquainted with to land some type of job kind of discourages me from personally pursuing web development as a career. Let's compare that to game development. In most cases, games are created using game engines rather than coded from scratch. They are basically fully fledged applications designed to streamline the game development process. This is similar to how a photo editor makes it easier to edit photos on your computer without coding all the changes you would want done on the photo from scratch. Yikes, that would be terrible. Usually all the coding is done from within the game engine, along with things like importing game art and music. There aren't any external frameworks or packages you have to worry about when using a game engine. It's all in one. To be fair, if you are making a game alone or with a small team, chances are you will have to worry about a lot of other things besides coding, such as art, sounds, music, level design, story, marketing, etc. It's a lot of hats to wear. But I personally find those things more simple and engaging to learn than all the different frameworks and preprocessors and libraries you have to get acquainted with. And depending on the circumstances, you can even hire freelancers for some of those positions. So there are definitely ways to cut corners. Not to mention, if you're working for a larger team that uses a game engine, a much larger team, chances are you'll be put in a specific department, namely, a department where you code XYZ, while others deal with the art and sounds. So you'll just be focused on code from within the engine and most likely won't have to worry about any external libraries or dependencies. In conclusion, I just feel that web development can come off as a very bloated industry versus game development being much more simpler in nature, I feel like. Although I'm sure they're both equally as difficult in their own way. Perhaps I have a bias because I love video games more than websites, but I still stand by my claim. If you have any thoughts or think I'm wrong on some things, make sure to leave it in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Just share my thoughts and see what you guys think. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care.